Hello, welcome back to another edition of Technique Tuesday. As you can see, my home gym has been on the move. It's one of the reasons why I've invested in a home gym, is that I can take it anywhere and never have to worry about having a place to lift. So yeah, I'm happy. It's a beautiful day outside, so let's get right into it. We're going to be looking at the power clean today, which is part of two movements contested at the Olympics or in Olympic weightlifting. So there's the clean and jerk. Today we're just going to look at the clean part, and then there is the snatch, and we'll look on that in a few weeks. But for today, it's a great movement to practice explosiveness, which is what a lot of athletes are looking for. So hang clean or some sort of variation of the clean is going to be included in almost every athletic program. Like I said, if you want to get into Olympic weightlifting, you're going to need to know how to do this. So you came to the right place. That being said, let's get right down to it. All right, so we'll get started. We'll start with a little warm up, and then we'll show you how it's done and the progression to get there. So I think it's always important to, especially for Olympic movements, to start with just a PVC pipe. These are really cheap. I got a couple of them. You can see, taped it up, different markings. The only markings I'm really interested in today are this one, and that's because on a barbell that marks outside, or where the knurling is outside of the middle. So that's going to be the most important thing. So I always like to start with just a little. You can also do this one behind your head, which is harder, but okay. And then we're just going to do a couple hang cleans. So mark wherever your hands are going to be. I'll show you how to get there, how to figure that out in a sec. But and we'll do a couple power cleans. So if you don't have a PVC pipe, or I guess if you just have a barbell in your gym or whatever, you can do all the same exercises. The barbell, let's be a little harder. So the power clean is going to use all the muscle groups that we're using in a deadlift and a front squat, plus a little more. So most of all your core. You can use all your leg muscles, calves, ankles, hamstrings, quads, glutes, hip flexors. We'll be using, a little bit of bis and tris and forearms, as well as your traps, chest muscles, rotator cuff, and your lats. Power clean is made up of a couple different pulls. So the first pull is just a deadlift. Then you're going to make contact with your thigh. Then you're going to get a triple extension between your ankles, your hip flexors, and your shoulders, catching it on, your collarbone, upper chest area. And then after that, and your catch, it's just a front squat. Taking a look at it from the side, we can see that the bar path is pretty straight, and we're really just moving our body around the bar, right? It probably moves forward and backward maybe a couple inches, but for the most part, we're just manipulating our body in its position to meet with the bar. Your setup here is really important. It's going to be very similar to a deadlift. You want to have your hands separated so you can make that proper front rack, so you just need to figure out where that's at. And then the other important thing is your bottom position. Your bottom catch position is what's going to allow you to properly front squat up. So let's take a look at what I meant by making contact with your thigh. So the bar's going to stay pretty much right along your body line, but to really get it up to the position where we can catch it on our upper chest, we're going to need to make some contact with our thigh and sort of pop it up a little bit. And then you can see we're getting the main extension in our hips here as we do that. And so it looks the same for a hang clean and a power clean, is that we're going to pull the bar from the ground, make contact with our leg, and then really just pop it up, extending the shoulder. All right, let's take a look at where we're going to place our hands. As I just mentioned, we need to place our hands so we can make contact with our thighs to really pop the bar up so we can catch it. Here, this is where I typically hold my hands. You might need to have it a little bit wider if you don't have as much of a rotation in your shoulder blades and rotator cuff. But watch what happens here when I widen out my hands. So when you widen your hands out, the bar is going to move up the body about 3 or 4 inches. It's too high for a power clean, great for a snatch. And then if you put your hands in too close, you're not going to be able to create a proper front rack, which is the most important thing here. Progression I like to do starts with just a clean pull, so getting in that position, and we're just pulling it, working on the first pull and getting extension in the ankles, hips, and shoulders, and making that contact point on the leg. Next, I like to work the high pull. That helps you engage those lats and traps, and then also allows you to practice sending the bar straight up the body line, which is very important in this movement. Lastly, I like to do a hang clean, which sort of takes away the deadlifting aspect of a power clean. And so you can really work on your grip and your form as well as just your catch without worrying about having to pull it from the ground every single time. All the mechanics are the same, just without the pull. All right, so let's do a power clean at home without a barbell. There's 2 main ways you can do it. First is if you have some dumbbells or kettlebells. I have dumbbells here, and what you're gonna do is sort of do a kettlebell swing like this, and then just catch it in the right position, right? You can also do this with just with one hand. Okay, do it from the ground. All right. Second way, and if you're in the gym and don't want to do with a barbell, you can do this with a trap bar, and you'll get the same explosiveness as just doing some explosive squat jumps, right? So here we go. All right, there you have it. That's power clean. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, comment, direct message, email, call, text, send me a letter. I don't know how else to do it. Any way you want. But we'll hope to see you next week for another edition of Technique Tuesday. Thank you.